Joshua, the Iran deal is likely to top the agenda when these two leaders begin talks today.
I think that's absolutely correct. That's certainly the news of the day, not just here in Moscow, but around the world, as we've been hearing. Of course, Russia, signatory to the deal, publicly very much wanted it to remain in force and immediately expressed its displeasure in Trump's decision to pull out of it. Israel, just about the polar opposite position, was opposed to the deal from the beginning, warning of its dangers, lobbied the Trump administration for its cancellation, or for the Trump administration to withdraw from it, which is indeed what happened. So you'd think that today would be a kind of victory day of its own for Netanyahu, and less so for Putin. I think the truth is somewhat more complicated. Both sides have been expecting this outcome for a while now. I think that the Kremlin was bracing for exactly this decision from the Trump administration, really from the moment of Trump's election. And there is potentially a silver lining for Putin and his advisors, in that the withdrawal of the Trump administration from the Iran deal will create a kind of diplomatic and security vacuum in the Middle East. The United States is effectively unilaterally withdrawing itself as a player, at least on this particular question or set of questions, which are of utmost importance in the region and globally. And any time the United States withdraws from the global stage or retreats, I think Putin sees that as a kind of net win for him, given the zero-sum realpolitik that through which he views the world. So Russia, as a signatory to the deal, wanted to see it enforced, but I don't think, or rather, I think there's a way that Putin and others in the Kremlin could see it as also a positive outcome for them.
So we think Iran probably topping the agenda today. But in addition to that, the two leaders will have a series of other issues to be getting stuck into.
Absolutely. I think as far as Netanyahu is concerned, the more important issue is Syria. But also Syria, really, for Netanyahu, is about Iran. And his priority there is to not have Syria become a kind of base of operations for Iranian forces, which could then, as Netanyahu fears, use Syria as a launching pad for attacks against Israel. And seeing as that Russia is the primary military authority on the ground in Syria, Moscow is essentially the place to be in terms of discussing the actual security situation, military situation, the alignment of forces on the ground in Syria. On that question, for better or worse, all roads lead through Moscow. And so I think with fears about Iranian forces amassing in Syria and using Syria as a base to launch against Israel, that's a conversation that Netanyahu very much wants Putin.
Okay, Joshua Yaffe for us, reporting from Moscow. Thank you.